Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Sheena's Perfect Bite. I show people how to make homemade low glycemic meals, and today I'm going to show you how to make a homemade organic chicken stock. Yesterday I roasted an organic chicken, you can look for that video, and today I'm going to use the bones and the leftovers from the pan to make the stock along with some organic vegetables. So when you start with a good organic chicken base and stock for your soups and other dishes, you're really giving yourself the best chance of having a whole healthy meal. Sometimes those powdered chicken bases can have a lot of preservatives and of course a ton of salt, so we don't want that. So we're gonna make our own today. So let's get started. So as you can see, these are all the vegetables that we're going to use in our chicken stock and herbs. Don't worry, I'll go through what each one is and how much of each as I put them into the pot. As I told you before, here's our chicken bones from yesterday. Bones, the leftover onions, garlics, everything that was in the pan yesterday. So we're going to start with that. And then I'm going to start with a handful of parsley stems. There's a ton of flavor in the stems of the parsley. You don't necessarily want to eat them raw, but for stocks, this is amazing to use. So just throw those in. Then we're gonna have a handful of thyme, fresh thyme. This is from my garden. A handful of sage, also from my garden, fresh. We're gonna do 2 bay leaves, 1 whole onion, just cut into wedges is fine. This doesn't need to look beautiful. All right, and then 6 cloves of garlic. I like mine really garlicky. 6 cloves of garlic smashed. You can just smash them with your knife. Toss those in. And then I did 2 large stalks of organic celery, or you can use 3 smaller stalks is fine as well. Let's get all those in there. And then 3 whole organic carrots just chopped up with the skin on. There's a lot of nutrients in the skin. Okay. And then I'm going to throw in a bunch of peppercorns as well. Now that's basically the whatever's going to go into the stock. Now we're going to add the water. And add just enough water. Add just enough water to cover all of the vegetables and the chicken a few inches. All right. And then what we're going to do is turn the heat on high, bring this to a boil, and then we're going to turn it down to a simmer and let it simmer for a few hours. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil and then show you what it looks like. Okay, we have our chicken stock brought up to a boil now. Now I'm going to show you the level of simmer that I want it to be at. Because this is going to simmer for 4 hours total, we want it on a very light bubble. So I'm going to turn this down so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. This will be just above, like simmer on your stove. There we go. See how you can kind of just see bubbles coming up. There we go. Now the reason that you want it at this very light simmer is because you want all of the flavor to come out of the vegetables and the chicken very slowly. That way you keep down the level of impurities. Your stock will be nice and clear and clean looking. Now during the 4 hours, what I want you to do is use a skimmer spoon or something like this. You can go in and just skim off any foam that you see. That'll also help with the impurities to help it make it look very clean and clear at the end. So just a really light bubble. I'm going to keep the lid on it and we'll check it in a few hours and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, so this is what it looks like at the 2-hour mark. I haven't really had any foam to skim off or anything, so we're just going to continue going for 2 more hours. Okay, our chicken stock is finally finished. It's been simmering for just over 4 hours. This is what it looks like. You can tell pretty much everything's been broken down. The color is all out of the vegetables because all of the flavor, nutrients, everything is now out of the vegetables and into the stock at this point. So my little setup here, what I'm going to do is we want to cool the chicken stock down as fast as possible because we don't want bacteria and different things to grow in it. So the best way that I have found to do that is to cool it down in something glass or metal, something that holds the coldness. So I have just a glass measuring cup inside of an ice bath here. This kind of just sits on the bowl nicely. And then I have my strainer. Now we're going to strain this out into the bowl here. Now what we're going to do is just stir this around and cool it down all the way. Now after this cools down enough, what you're going to want to do is get some sort of container. Something like this will work just fine. You'll pour all of the stock into the container, put a tight lid on it, and then keep it in the fridge overnight. During that time, the fat will float to the top and harden. So in the morning, I'll show you how to skim the fat off the top of the chicken stock, and then from there you can either freeze it, use it right away, whatever you'd like. So I'm going to cool this down and I will see you in the morning. Good morning. All right, the chicken stock is out of the fridge. It's been in there overnight. All of the fat has risen to the top and has solidified. So right now I'm going to show you how to skim the fat off the top. Okay, so as you can see, they're the fat solids on top of the stock. We're going to use a little mesh strainer to scoop this out. You can kind of see it coming together. That's what it looks like. Just empty it into a little bowl on the side and just scoop up all of the little fat, because we don't really want that in our soup or our other dishes. Okay, so that's basically how you make chicken stock. From this point, just put a tight lid on it and you can store it in the fridge for a couple of days, or you can put it in a freezer, label it, the date and what it is, and you can hold it in your freezer for a couple of months as well. With just a little bit of extra work, you can make your own stocks at home. It costs less money, definitely. You're using every part of the chicken. There's no waste. It tastes better and it's definitely better for you. So try this out and enjoy.